Hey, BassGeek here, and today we're going to talk about Finesse Buzzbait setup for ultra clear water. So what do I mean by a finesse buzzbait? Is there such thing as a finesse buzzbait? Well, I call a 1/4 ounce buzzbait a finesse buzzbait. Generally because it is small, it has a smaller blade, which I will tell you a trick about that sometimes. And it's a much lighter, it's a 1/4 ounce. Most of the time you're gonna throw that 3/8 ounce. Some people throw the 1/2 ounce around. Much bigger blades, a lot more noise. You know, those definitely have their place. But this little guy right here, he is going to do what all finesse baits do. He's going to catch the bigs and he's going to catch numbers. And a buzzbait is always catching the toads. Before we really get into dissecting the buzzbait, let me tell you what I'm throwing it on. Remember, a 1/4 ounce buzzbait. This is, and one of you awesome BassGeek Nation subscribers, I can't thank you enough. If you've seen the video from, I believe it was last year, the end of last year, we were fishing the lake that I actually grew up fishing, Big Cherry Reservoir, and I fell overboard and I lost my buzzbait combo that I'd had for just years and years and years. And one of you awesome guys sent me this, and I have to say, so far, this has been an incredible reel. So this is the Daiwa Tatula CT, okay? It is an 8-1, which is so good for a buzzbait, guys. That higher speed, you can just get that bait up and going before it even touches the water. It's incredible. Now, generally with a buzzbait, I like a shorter rod than what I've got on here, but I've been playing around with this and I really like it so far. Remember, a longer rod, a longer cast, less accuracy. A shorter rod, a shorter cast, but you're more accurate. Now, since I fish a lot of clear water, that's where a finesse, a 1/4 ounce buzzbait really does come into play. It's a little quieter, it's a little more stealthy, it doesn't hit the water as hard, it doesn't make a commotion up around the shallower cover that I'm going to be fishing it around and spook the fish off nearly as bad as those bigger, heavier buzzbaits with maybe even those heavier trailers on them. Like I said, this is great. I always fish it on monofilament. So full on monofilament, you'll see backing in there, but this is full straight monofilament. 2 to 3 casts worth, so I don't even get into the braid. The braid is just backing. It's there to fill the spool up. I mean, monofilament isn't expensive. The one thing in fishing that, well, I guess compared to everything else, it isn't expensive. But this is a 7.4. Now, guys, this is one of these Sticks rods. Again, I'm not sponsored by this company. My buddy Travis Moran is part owner of this. He reached out to me, sent me a set. I actually had COVID when he sent them, so I didn't get to talk about them as much as I'd like. But these sticks are awesome. If you're starting out, what I love about them, just a few things, is they actually have the measuring board on the stick. They have a complete set. You can get a complete set of 6 rods, 2 spinning rods, and 4 casting rods for $500. It's $100 a piece, and let me tell you, they're well worth more than that. They don't sell them in like you know, Tackle Warehouse and all that stuff because they cut the middleman out. When people sell to Tackle Warehouse sells to make money, you know, just like any retailer does. So they sell direct on their website. And what's great is for you guys that are out there, and something that if you're prepping for a tournament, these things as a co-angler, these 6 rods are tournament ready for a co-angler, in my opinion. If you don't know what rods you should start with these. This is a great starter group of rods. They're incredible and they're top-notch quality, guys. like I said, they sent them to me last October. I've been using them ever since, and I can't tell you how impressed I am. I have turned this rod that can do so many different things. I mean, a 7.4 medium heavy fast action. You can, you know, throw jigs on it. This is their, what I love about it, this is their number 5. So this is just a little bit heavier. It goes, they're numbered, and what's great about the numbers are, and again, I'm not sponsored by these guys at all, but I really am impressed by what they've done. But basically they're numbered, so they tell you what you can throw on them, what sort of presentations, what sort of rigs, all the way up 1 through 6. You'll know the weights that you can throw. It really takes the guesswork out of a lot of stuff for you guys that are beginners. You should check them out. Anyway, like I said, this is a 6. You would think it'd be a little stiff for a 1/4 ounce buzzbait, but once you put a trailer on there, it is perfect. Cast it a mile. Generally, 14-pound monofilament, 12 or 14 pound is what I'm going to throw. It floats. It keeps it up. 8-1. You can get away with a 7. I wouldn't go under a 7 with a buzzbait. It just, you know, a buzzbait doesn't float, so you really have to make sure that you're getting it to start on top of the water right away, and there is a trick to that, and I'll show it to you in just a minute. An 8 is going to help that, but don't fish it too fast. That's the key to a finesse buzzbait. You want it to be slow, low, and as quiet as it can go, okay? Anyway, all that being said, let's talk about the buzzbait. Now, the buzzbait that I prefer, the one that I've been using now for a few years, is the Cumberland Pro Lures. I love the gold blade, okay? Sunny day, cloudy day, the gold blade, and I'll tell you this setup right here. The reason why I throw this setup right here, I like the gold blade, number 1, because it also mimics a bluegill. You got a little bit of that gold flash, so a panfish. I put the white trailer on so it mimics a shad. Now, I will tell you, a lot of times I'll leave the skirt off, but if I know I'm fishing a lake that has a lot of bluegill, or the bass for whatever reason is focused on a bluegill, I'll leave that bluegill skirt on. Generally, that's the skirt I go to, is a bluegill. If I don't want it to have a bluegill, and they're definitely, you know, the shad spawns going on, I will take the skirt completely off. The good thing about it is you can slide the skirt right off. You can put the skirt back on later. Now, let's talk about trailer. My favorite trailer. I don't like to put a big, bulky trailer. Remember, this is finesse. But one of my favorite trailers is actually the Menace Grub by Strike King. Now, you can rig it 2 different ways, okay? You can put it on here and turn it sideways. Don't tear the feet apart, and it'll actually swim like this. But what do I want about a finesse? I want to keep it up. So a lot of times, I just go ahead and turn it flat. Now, with a buzzbait, you have to be sure you get this flat. It has to be flat, because it can cause the buzzbait to roll if you get it lopsided, or if it begins to tear, you need to replace it. That being said, let's talk. And my buddy Tackle Junkie, by the way, guys, I haven't shouted out both my guys in a while, and I apologize to them. You know, I've just been so busy with the house and stuff. I've tried to pump out some videos, and a lot of times, sorry, my camera back there, I didn't know, I guess it was on. A lot of times, I'm just trying to get these videos out for you guys. And I forget my boys. Guys, go check out Tackle Junkie. He's got a great video on how to tune a buzzbait. I'm going to give you a quick and dirty, but go check him out. My other boy, Debo Fishing, man, that guy, if you are a bank angler, that's the go-to guru right there. The D to the bow. Go check out Debo's Fishing. Man, I think he's over 100,000. I'm just happy he's still friends with me. In the YouTube world, there's a lot of big timing, okay? All right. Now, all that being said, Debo would never do that. I'm not insinuating that at all. Debo he's just good people. So's my boy Tackle Junkie, who's one of the OGs, man. You go back and look at his earliest. I promise you, he's been doing fishing videos longer than anybody else. So let me show you how to tune this thing real quick. And if you look at it, you'll see it's kind of bent a little bit. I've had to do a little bit of fine tuning on this one. Now, the one thing that most of the time you want to do when you get them, you want to straighten them, get them straight with the hook, okay? This one wanted to fight with me just a touch. So what I ended up having to do is it wanted to run off to this side. So what you do is you just take and bend out. And I don't want to bend out because I've got this running great. You want to bend it out so it pulls you this direction. So if it's running toward you and it's wanting to run this way, bend this part, the whole arm, to the side that it's running, and it'll start running the other direction. Now, a great thing about that is, if it's rolling, by the way, sorry, if it's rolling, you want to take this and twist it, okay, away from the way it's rolling. So if it's rolling this way, you want to twist the whole arm just this direction, and it'll run it straight up. Again, Tackle Junkie's got a great video. Go check that out. The other thing is, if you want it to run, say you're casting it down a dock edge and you want it to kind of run in under the dock and bounce off the poles, you can twist it away from the direction you want to run. So if it's running straight and you want it to run to the left, you're going to bend it to your left, my right. You'll bend it this way, okay? And it'll actually run into the docks and sort of run this direction. You want it to run that direction, you'll bend this arm this way, and it'll run that direction, okay? Anyway, again, Tackle Junkie's got it. Got a couple of hits on it early in the morning. That's when I'm going to throw this. I'm going to throw it early in the mornings in this ultra clear water. Guys, the water today is probably 10 to 15 foot. I mean, you can see the rocks on the bottom. It's pretty crazy. This little lake here, Top Secret Lake P. With all that being said, I want to go show you now how you should cast this and keep it up from start of the cast till finish. That's a big, big key, and how fast you need to be working it to get it bit. So before we talk about really where to fish this is one of those deals where the retrieve is so important that you might want to take a little bit of time in open water and just understand and learn how to cast it. And how to get it started. That's really the key. So generally what I like to do, and you're going to be throwing this a lot of times sidearm, but you're going to stop that bait before it hits the water. You're going to use your thumb to stop that bait before it hits the water. So when you make a cast, you're going to cast it out there, stop it, and I literally start pulling the rod back to get the bait started. Now, you don't want to pull it back too hard, but when I cast it out there, that's what I want right there. And I want a good, slow, soft retrieve. We don't want to be just flinging water. We want to pop, 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 pop. Not, what we don't want is just to be slinging water everywhere. So, and don't be afraid, you know, it's kind of like a spinner bait. You can kind of throw it almost anywhere. So, you know, throw it out there. I stop it right before, and you can see the bubbles coming off of it. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's just barely making a sound. Oops, see, I even let it drop just a little too much. But I'm just barely retrieving this bait. I want it to go across nice and slow, stopping the bait, coming right across that wood. Yeah. I'm not afraid to throw it up there. Hey, if it gets stuck, I'll go get it. But you want to make every ounce of your cast count. This is the type of places you're going to want to put this bait, okay? Over, around any sort of wood. As you can see down through there, you're going to want to do this early in the morning. Just like during the summer, it's just like any topwater. It's generally a morning bite or a cloud cover bite. But a lot of times you're going to want to make that low cast and you're bringing that back to you. That's the big key. Stopping that bait, bringing that rod tip back. That's why I like this Sticks rod, this 7.4, I believe it is again. Yeah, 7.4. It's long, so it allows me to get up under there and really get that bait going. And with the right trailer, even this, you can skip it up under there. And like I said, it's hard to get it hung. Like I said, the biggest deal is to make sure when you throw it out there, stop and drag. See, I've got that bait moving before I ever even engage my reel. You've just got to make sure that you're using your thumb to stop that bait right where you need it to be. It's a learning process and you'll get it down. And every rod and reel, it's going to be a little different. But like I said, guys, a little Finesse 1/4 ounce buzz bait can really get you some good bites early mornings during the summertime. It's a big bite bait, even the 1/4 ounce, even the smaller ones, slow rolled. Make sure you give it a shot. Check all this stuff out. As always, guys, you know I love to talk about fishing with you. Leave those questions and comments down in the comment section below. I do really love to talk about fishing with you. Leave those comments. It does help the channel. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell so you get those notifications. You get to watch these videos when they come out. As always, you guys rock.